Before we start our next show, just wanted to say thank you for joining the Ishan Skiing community. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for listening, for learning, and for growing. If you like any episode that we ever put out, like, follow, share. That's the only way we're gonna grow. So thanks again. And now, on to the show. Welcome back to another episode of Talking That Ishan Skiing podcast. We are back in our safe space we call
Treetop Studios.
Indeed, the studio is always here. So we're going to continue this discussion like we have for the past 5 weeks already.
Yeah.
It's been 5 weeks, right? So we're going to continue our discussion. And the reason why we're continuing our discussion is, number one, it's current events. That's one. Number two, the amount of countries, I think we're up to 37 countries now. I think 2 more popped up. Malaysia, shout out to Malaysia, shout out to Brazil. I think those were the last 2 that popped up, and I was just like, oh, that's awesome. So just spreading the word, spreading education, and we're just going to continue down that pathway, just in case, like Aisha has said it so many times, if you're out there looking for knowledge, understanding of what's going on in the current events that we're living in right now, and looking for clarity, we want to make sure we're doing our due diligence to bring you that and continue to educate ourselves and continue to grow and become better human beings, hopefully, So, yeah, that's basically what we're going to talk about today, is just wherever we want to go in whatever direction, but just as long as at the end of this episode, with the 5 that we've done, we're getting brighter as we go, I guess, and more, and bring more knowledge to the situation. Right? Makes sense to a certain degree, I guess.
Yeah,
I hope.
Indeed, it does.
Yeah, I hope I don't lag. My connection a little laggy today.
Yeah, it's a little bit shaky on your side, but that's okay. We're gonna do with it what we can.
On my side, it looks cool, and you look cool, and I don't know, just weird, but it is what it is.
It's a little
So,
laggy.
I am a little laggy.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Damn it! I got. We get that high action and stuff. So, if any companies out there wishing to sponsor the podcast, and boy,
Give Oscar better internet speed.
wow! Oh,
Look,
it's not.
as you made that face, your face froze on screen.
But it didn't freeze on mine, so
I
that's
don't know
great.
why it's doing that. It's weird.
I don't know, so weird. So yeah, so we're gonna continue to educate ourselves, and go from there. So something that has created a page in order to get knowledge and wisdom, and I want her to share that and what came about and why she created that page. So go ahead, my girl.
So I feel like, not even I feel like, I have been absolutely enraged and I'm letting my anger get the best of me, kind of thing. So I'm like, I want to do more. I don't know what to do. But I was like, let me just create a page where I can dedicate it to education, on the history of Palestine, the history of the atrocities, obviously, because this didn't just begin on October 7th. This has been going on for 75 years. So I did make the page. I posted a couple things and then I kind of retracted and I'm like, fuck this. I'm not using this damn page anymore. And then, and I'm like, no, like I literally do need an outlet because I am just so like angry and enraged and I need something that I can filter that into, just put my focus into another outlet, so to speak. But the Instagram page is called Education on Palestine. So if anyone is interested in learning more about the history and different aspects, go ahead and give it a follow. And I'm going to try to start uploading more things, more content for you guys to be able to reference. Yeah. I wanted to also make mention real quick. You mentioned at the beginning that Brazil popped up on the charts, and so happy to see that Palestinian Brazilian citizens were able to get out of the Gaza Strip, and they made it back home to Brazil. I think yesterday, one of the two. So that was awesome to see finally. But yeah, just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, what's good now that you mentioned Brazil, but just once again, I know we touched on it in every episode I think that we've talked so far, but just the amount of demonstrations, not only in the streets. I mean, shout out to London. I mean, they did it big. They did it. I don't know if you saw that post, man. They did it.
I sure did see that.
I think it was like 1 million people deep. Hopefully I'm not getting the number wrong, but I believe it was 1 million people deep marching through the streets of London. So that was awesome. But I'm talking about just countries throughout the entire world that has just been absolutely amazing to see that flag flying and
Hmm.
other flags flying, of course, like you had mentioned in the past in Washington D.C. But even at sporting events, man, I'm just get amazed at I mean, shout out. I know you're wearing it right now, and I love it because it was just a shout out to the soccer team, FC Palestino, I believe it is.
Yeah, that's a Chilean soccer team.
Right. So they came out adorning that, which you have on, and I
Hmm.
forgot. So please educate the brother.
It's called a kafaya.
Yes, indeed.
It's
And
called a kafaya, and it has meaning to it. Like, it's not just like a design or whatever. This part right here represents like the fishnet
mhm.
of the fishermen. You got the thicker parts right here, which represent like the trade routes. And then you got like the olive from the olive trees, the branches. So it's a bunch of like little representations of Palestine in this. And this goes way back. So it's
Yeah, no,
definitely a huge piece of us.
and it's awesome too. 'Cause I think I had post somebody broke down exactly what you just did and broke it down. So they came onto the pitch with it, and it's just amazing the support from there to our. You know, I know you said it a million times, and I'm happy to mention is Ireland just be showing that love too. So it's just been amazing to be honest. The amount of people and the way it's opening eyes throughout
Mhm.
the world, and I love it. And I've been immersed in documentaries this week. Um, it's something that you just pretty much the story is the same, just spoken through different people and their point of views and stuff like that. But one thing that kind of stuck in my head was, this all started because of hostages, right? And all that. And I'm saying to myself, damn, like it's crazy. They go crazy for these hostages, right? All right, whatever. Which you're supposed to. Well, I'm not gonna say you're not. But I was watching a documentary and I'm saying to myself, this is and I think we had mentioned it before in the other podcast. And maybe we did or maybe we didn't. I can't recall. But the fact is that there's been hostages there for so long, right? I have mentioned it. The anger that I had was just like, yo, man, you can't eat 6 miles out the water, you can get shot by the Navy, right? We have
Mhm.
mentioned try to go down the Egypt route, you shoot to kill. So there's concrete, there's barriers, there's barbed wire, this, that, and the other. You can't escape this little zone that you're in.
Mhm.
And it's to myself, but nobody was bitching and complaining about hostages then. And
Yep.
mind you, they've been hostages the whole time. There's been generations. It's not something that's been like 10 years, it's generation after generation. And that's the thing that pissed me off. It was like, yo, word? You can't even, if you wanted to escape the situation, you can't,
Mhm.
because kill from each direction. So I'm like, word? But we don't talk about that. Like, you know
I
what I'm saying?
I like that you kicked it off with that because like and sorry if I cut you off, but you're like chopping up so I can't tell if you're talking or not. I'm sorry. Oh. um, but I love that you kicked it off with that because yeah, they took hostages in on October 7th, but I'm just gonna go out there and say it. Hamas ain't treating these people wrong. And if any of these people did end up dying, it's at the hands of their own government because they're just carpet bombing Gaza and they don't know where the hell these hostages are? So if people are dying, it's at their own hands. Not for nothing, but Hamas actually offered to give all of the hostages back, and Netanyahu's dumbass declined and said, no, that's more of a liability. But honestly, I think he considers it more of a liability because the previous hostages that they released, spoke positively on Hamas and said how good they were treated and this and that makes Israel look horrible. So I really think that's why he didn't want to take them back, and that's why their citizens were so outraged and they actually were at his residence in front of his house protesting because he didn't give a fuck about taking the hostages back. And now these families are, left without their family members. Yeah, which is totally sad. And I feel bad for that. But at the same time, it's like, exactly, nah, y'all been doing this to us forever. You can't handle a little bit. Like, it doesn't even make sense to me. I,
Right.
I, I can't stand that shit. And I hate that the US and Israel keep using Hamas as a quote unquote terrorist group. You keep somebody locked down for X amount of time. You think they're not going to want to react? You think they're not going to get fed up? Of course they are. They're literally just resisting what's happening to them. And if you expect somebody not to resist the constraint, then something's wrong.
And then the funny thing is, hopefully I'm more. You know what's funny? Like it's gonna be chopped up, but when the
Mhm.
audio, I'll be like, nah, skin wasn't chopped up because hopefully it fixes it. But that being said, it was just another thing. It was just like here you have the Israeli army, right? One of the best trained, blah blah blah, this that and the armed forces, right? And then you'd be like, okay, so in conversation, I just heard two people, and it kind of, I was gonna jump in, but I said, you know what, man, it's gonna go down the. Sometimes you just gotta be like, yo, chill, man, because I know, you know what I'm saying. I know myself. I'm gonna get angry real quick, so I said,
Yeah.
it has to be. But they called it a war, and I'm saying to myself, but how can it be a war if there's one army, and there's no army over here? It's just people with sticks and stones and bricks and this. And that's what they're throwing at these tanks. But
Hmm.
missiles and all kinds of shit. How can it be a war? Where's the other war? Because the other, as long as I know, yeah, they have a militia, or you can say if you want to call Hamas a militia, or whatever the case is.
A
But
resistance group.
right, that's not an army.
Hmm.
That's a whole bunch of people getting together and be like, yo, we gonna do this and we gonna do that, right? So it was just crazy. But anyway, that being said, I'm thinking to myself, damn, you man, y'all throwing missiles, y'all throwing this, and the only thing they throwing is rocks. You know what I'm saying? And
Let
and
me tell you, those people are not the best trained in the world. They are the biggest bitches I've ever seen. Because if you're sitting in a tank. You're in a tank and a child, let's say a 5-year-old child, throws a rock at your tank. You're going to shoot him in the head? You're a bitch. You're literally a bitch. And let me tell you another thing. If these people faced us face to face, no weapons, they'd be obliterated. And they know it. Why do you think it took them so long to do a ground invasion? They're fucking terrified. All they're good at is making TikToks and mocking us. Making TikToks, stealing our culture, our dances, our food. They have no culture. Nobody wanted them in their country to begin with. That's why they're doing all this mess. Oh my god, they make me so mad.
yeah, it is. Another thing that I guess you posted, and I was like, yo, I just stood there and looked at the image for a good 15, 20 seconds. I just kept looking at the image, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But if you show this image to anybody, and you'd be like, yo, explain this to me.
Hmm.
There's no way you can come up with a solution. They'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. So the picture that I'm talking about is just Palestine in the 1940s, and it was all green,
Hmm.
little white. And as the years go right, it was broken down into 4 images. And then
Yeah,
when I believe it was 2012 or something like that, I think it was.
I think so. Yeah.
Right? It was all primarily white, and then you had the Gaza Strip, and then the West Bank that
Hmm.
was pretty green, and then everything else was white. So I'm looking at that, I'm like, damn, yo, a picture. What is it? What's that thing? A picture's worth a thousand words.
Yeah, 1,000 words. Yeah.
And I'm saying to myself, I'm looking at this picture, and I was like, how can you just make sense of this picture for me? You know what I'm saying? And it just speaks for itself. Like, just look. Or look
Hmm.
at the screen, little specks of white, all good. And then now look at where we're at, and it's all white. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? A little
Hmm.
bit saying to myself, and this was your home, this was your land, this was the promised land, or
Hmm.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever religious region or whatever the case is, I get it. Jerusalem and the whole nine. I get it. But still, dog, it's like for real.
Hmm.
You you just couldn't come and live in peace and just chill. But you got to do the same thing that they. And we said it before. I'm gonna say it again. So you're gonna do the same shit that they did to you.
Hmm.
Bob, whole 9 yards, shoot to kill, that type of stuff. So you're gonna do that to other people because that's what they did to you. I
Hmm.
just, it's just, I can't. That cannot pass my brain. There
It's
is no
long.
rationale behind that. You know what I'm saying? So it just makes it hard for me to understand or even try to comprehend that. I'm just like, you wilding.
They're absolutely ridiculous. Oh, I, man, I don't know. I can't even explain it. It's wild too. Like you mentioned the Holy Land, and obviously I've said it so many times. You already know this, but before these European Jews came to Palestine, we were living in peace with the Palestinian Jews. You know, it was Jews, Christians, and Muslims, and I'm always gonna say that. But they're out here killing us. We're not one of them. They want us dead. They've had a plan all along. This was all in their plans, all of it, to kill us, to end our bloodlines, to get us off the land, all of that. That was always written in their plans. It's nothing new. It's just that the world is finally waking up to it.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like it's funny. Like I've been going through the gram and stuff, right? Obviously, our page together, we post and repost stuff. My page as well, right?
Hmm.
And all of a sudden, I've come across, I'm gonna say about a good 10 people. No lie. Some were blue checks and some were not. And I had to unfollow, man. It's just, it is what it is. Not because you forced me to follow one. You was like, no, unfollow. I'm gonna, whatever. And it wasn't that, right? It was just other people posting other stuff, and I was like, but man, if I was to show you this picture, how can you explain all this green turned to white? Explain that to me.
Hmm.
It just, I want to see somebody try to explain that to me, and then at the same time, post what they were posting and stuff like that.
You can't
And
ask them. You can't ask them because they're gonna come up with some bullshit. I don't know if you saw, but and excuse me for laughing, but these idiots, their desperation is like seeping through the pores of their skin. It's just insane. I posted this video of them allegedly, they went into this room and they pointed it out and they're like, "Oh, you see this? It's a schedule of each like Hamas militant who was like on duty to watch the hostages." I'm like, all right, these fucking people are stupid. I guess they forgot that people in the world know how to read Arabic. And it was actually like a calendar. And there's this meme that ended up coming out. Um, you know that song by the Black Eyed Peas where they go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that song. So they ended up turning that into a meme because they're literally just taking anything and turning it into quote unquote evidence. Oh, Hamas was here, or this is where they are, just so they can have justification to do whatever the hell it is that they want to do, kill whoever they want and all that. But it's dumb shit like that that ends up getting exposed and they look dumb. And I
right,
think like that really is a huge piece this time around as to why they're basically like snitching on themselves, with this dumb stuff, that the stuff that they're coming up with, the TikToks that they're putting out of them mocking us and mocking our dead people, the stupidity that they're just spewing out of their mouths. They literally just made themselves look so horrible, and in the weirdest way, I'm grateful for it,
right.
if that
It,
makes any sense.
it does. It definitely does because if you think about it, it's just social media. Obviously, it could be an evil, but at the same time, it could be part of the true reality, right? So
Mhm.
if this was 20 years ago and this was going on right now, 20 years ago, which it was, but let's just say it's going on exactly the same.
Mhm.
Be relying on media,
Yep.
on they're feeding us, right? So we didn't have. Now we do. We have people that are risking their lives and family to be inside of the Gaza Strip and recording and putting video out there. through what was the other network? Al Jazeera's.
Yes, Al Jazeera.
Yeah, so they're going through there, right? And bringing out the truth of what's really going on and stuff like that. So back then you would probably have one, but he or she would have to write it down, and it wasn't reliable. Here you're getting it on the spot, like boom, this is what's going on as quickly as you possibly can. So that makes it a little bit more tangible for someone like myself
Yeah.
to learn about it and be like, yo, hold up, what's going on? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I think that makes it, so social media is a big, big, big platform in that. And then, like you said, like just the idiocy that you see, like that other video of the dickhead. Oh shit, man. Yo, when I saw it, I was like, damn, God, you got to put me somewhere where I can just two piece them. Oh my God.
That's how
That's,
I've been feeling.
you know what I'm talking about, right? The dude that broke through the barrier of the women. He was ripping shit up. It was like a women's protest, and he went through. He was ripping stuff up.
Oh,
And
yes, 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 yes.
yeah,
In New York. Mm-hmm.
oh,
His dweeby ass.
if I was there, just man, fuck it. Because sometimes, listen, man, you can talk wisdom and you can talk peace, but sometimes, man, you just gotta let your frustration out on
Mhm.
somebody. You know what I'm saying? On some motherfucker, and just two piece them to, you know what I mean? Give them some
For
once in a
sure.
while.
I always say, like,
You
God
know?
knows
So,
not to put me in these situations because I would end up in jail. There's no way I'm gonna let someone disrespect me or anyone around me like that. But everything that's going on has really shown how peaceful the Muslim community is and how savage and animal they are. They have really, really shown their true colors, which is absolutely disgusting. But it's also a beautiful thing for our community because no matter what is going on, like we're pushing through and through, and it's being done so peacefully at all of our protests globally. Like you said, the London one was huge, the DC one was huge, the one in Indonesia, I think was like 2 million people. We have the whole world behind us. It's just the government, the governments are corrupt and it's all about politics, it's all about money. Like I said before, it comes down to greed. This has always been in the plans. And I just saw this video too. Some lady, she was wilding out. She was, I guess, the host, or I don't know, maybe she was anchor on a news channel. I don't even know what it was. She was wilding out, and she was like, um, and it's important that I say she was a white woman too, because honestly, I know, not even to be funny, like there's a lot of white people behind us, but it's important. I feel like to say that, especially on this, like if people don't see us talking, that I highlight that because these people do stand with us. If you have a heart, you're going to stand with us. It doesn't matter what your culture is, what your race is. But there are people out there who don't understand that. And that's why I feel like I need to highlight that. But she was walling out and she was like, what has America come to? Like, we're literally at a point where Biden is so demonic and so monstrous that he is supporting this, and that George W. Bush actually took a stance and said that there needs to be a ceasefire. And she's like, warmonger George W. Bush said there needs to be a ceasefire, and Biden, our current president, will not go for it. Like, that is absolutely astonishing. And I mean, she's right, but she was walling out, and it's crazy. Like, I love that people are starting to realize like what the fuck is really going on around us and how it
yeah.
really affects us at the end of the day in so many different aspects. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, like sometimes too, when ex presidents talk, and I think I heard Obama talk too, and I got nothing but love and respect for Obama, so don't get me wrong. But
He's an
that
idiot
being
too.
said, right. But any president before this president had a chance to do something about it,
Hmm.
right? Um, and now when they come out and they talk about this, that, and the other, be like, dude, you were in power at 1.2. This has been going on for 75 years.
Hmm.
You had an opportunity to be like, yo, there's something going on in here that we don't like, because you know where the money's going. You
But they're
know
not
you
going to.
right.
They're not going to because they're bought out, not to do so. They're bought out to stand with the oppressor. And not and not stand with the oppressed, even if it's the wrong thing to do. They are literally bought out. And my cousin's been talking about this a lot because he's been really doing like a lot of research and all this stuff. But he's mentioned APAC so much, and it's a Jewish lobbyist group where most of them are not even Jewish. Most of them are evangelical Christians. And these people actually pay individuals to stand with them. Like, I'm talking about like hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. They pay them to just shut the fuck up and stand with them. And that's why you see certain artists like, oh, I stand with Israel. The only reason you stand with Israel, you dummy, is because you got paid out like a sellout.
Right.
But otherwise, they know that what's going on is wrong. But that's why we see these dummies standing with them.
Right. Actually, now that you mentioned that I came across a couple of videos where it was young, I guess college kids, or they were just coming out of college, or whatever the case is, or something like that, and they were emailed something. Support me, will pay you X amount, or they were paying their tuition or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They were basically, I don't know how these kids do it because I don't know, but behind you they will put that green screen and they would actually show exactly what the letter meant and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So
Yeah.
obviously, you know what I mean, I ain't researching. Oh, listen, me see, let's see if this is factual. You know what I'm saying? But
It is.
at the same time, like, if it's happening once, twice, three times, four times, five times, then there's something going on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like funny. Like I was like, word, that's what we do. We just throw money. But I'm guessing you getting billions and billions of taxpayers' money.
American tax money. Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
man.
That's where it's going to, literally, for people to just stand with them and be like, oh, yeah, I stand with Israel. When they
Yeah.
really don't. Their morals would tell them not to, but they're doing it because they're not morally aligned. All they want is the money, and that's the greed that kicks in. But these people have been doing it forever. They pay their college students over there. Their college over there, their tuition is free. And they pay these kids to fucking go online and troll people like you and I in the comment sections.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the first hate.
I'll be fighting with people. Sometimes I'm like, all right, what are you doing? Like, you're acting so fucking crazy. Get out of these comment sections.
I, it's funny because and jokingly, I say I'm waiting for the first one, right? But in reality, it's just think about all the positive stuff that we've been doing, you've been doing. I know your cousin's been posting too, because I follow her as well, so I know everything is. So it's a lot of good that we're doing in this community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Positive messages out there. So if we were to get one little hate, two little hate, three little hates, or four, it doesn't matter, right? Because we're doing so. Sometimes it's just don't get caught up in that one hateful motherfucker. You know what I mean? And then just let your whole shit derail. It's just, man, fuck you. I'm doing more positive. The reason why I say that is because there was a off topic, but it kind of plays in right into it. There was a video I saw of this girl asking, "Where are all the good men at?" Blah blah blah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So my comment, just a simple comment, because I followed the whole thing. I said, um, the time that you invest is just, I got to look back. But it was my response was something like, the time that you invest is not worth it. That's all I said.
Mm-hmm.
Your comment has gotten like 8,000 likes and replies and all kinds of things. And I'm like, and I read some of them, and some of them be like, yeah, that's what's up. That's why I got a dog and a cat, whatever. It's just great. And women are like, that's the problem, because you think, you think your relationships are this, you're treating it, relationships like a stock market. And I'm saying to myself, okay, your feelings got hurt because I used investment and time.
Mm-hmm.
So if I soften the blow and use kinder words, you will be more, yay with the comment. But it's true. It's just,
It's the insecurities shining.
that's what it is. And because I've been so close to answering, like, and I'd be like, you know what? Let me just enjoy this for what. And it's been fun because every time I log on, it's just another 100.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the last time I logged on, it was 150. I'm like, damn. And mind you, it's not even my video. I just posted it on this young lady's video that I follow, and I'm gonna send it to you afterwards so you can see. It just It's just amazing. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm having a lot of fun with it. But
I totally feel that because I've been fucking wildin'. Listen, when I tell you I've commented on everybody and their mother's pages, and obviously, you got all these supporters. That's another thing. Like, I'll go look at a comment that I left and it'll be like, oh, 2,000 likes, even if it's a GIF, just some dumb shit. And then you'll go look at an Israeli supporter's comment and it's like 2 likes. Like
right.
that goes to show you like where people stand. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane.
I just hope it comes down to the fact that the global pressure of people wanting, you know, uh, Palestine to be free, just wanting the ceasefire to happen. Hopefully, man, it happens because the amount of millions, and now we're going to millions, hundreds of millions worldwide, right? That is
Hmm.
just the amount of people wanting this to shit to stop and all this, that, and the other. Hopefully, it becomes a reality.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I hope so. God willing. I mean, it's crazy. Like right now, they're invading the Al Shifa hospital, and there are people there literally taking shelter there. So they're like, if anybody moves or even dares walk out, they shoot them. Kids, they're shooting little kids for getting up and moving because, oh, they're saying Hamas is there. Hamas is not there. Like it's literally just their justification to kill whoever they want.
Right.
It's crazy. So I mean, I really hope that this just stops really soon. But at the same time, it's also very scary and very worrisome in so many different ways.
No, it is. I mean, one thing that that I think every time I hear, oh, Hamas and this and Hamas might be there and this, that, and the other, I remember, yo, what happened to to the weapons of mass destruction that Iraq had?
Hmm.
Never found them because they never was. But
Honestly,
it was just the excuse to get in there,
yep.
get hot. What was the dictator's name there?
Um,
Saddam Hussein.
Hussein, Saddam Hussein.
Yes, right. We cut each other off. Yeah, exactly. So they were like, yo, he has weapons of mass destruction. My man, he had nothing.
Mm-mm.
He had nothing. But that was the excuse to get in there, overthrow that government, and whatever it is, what it is. So that's the type of same ideology and thinking that I'm thinking, oh, Hamas is there, so we got to go in, and then you know what I mean? Back to what you said originally in one of the other episodes, it was like Hamas is in tunnels, but you're gonna bomb the whole building to
Hmm.
get no sense
That's
and
why I love when I see that video of them just screaming. They're like, they lied about Iraq, they lied about Afghanistan, they lied about Iran, they lied about Palestine, just going on and on and on because the US lies about every single thing for their benefit. The US government, they are warmongers. They literally are. They love it. They have blood on their hands from all these Arab nations. They're disgusting. It's just, oh my God. I can't even, I don't even, I really don't even know how to express my thoughts and feelings. I'm just like,
no, and it's okay to express that disgust, right? Because even when you think about it, there was another video. I don't know if you posted it or I came across, but it was the Native Americans talking about like, yo, that shit happened to us,
mm-hmm,
little by little. All of a sudden, we were in these reservations and stuff like that, and all these laws were applied to us, and all of a sudden it shrunk and shrunk and shrunk until there's still a few, but it's so minute you can't even put them on a map because they're so freaking
mm-hmm,
they're like little dots on a map like that. So it's the same thing. So that was a good
yeah,
15 minutes the guy speak, and he was like, now we're watching it live again. You know what I mean? And nothing is happening, and obviously there's a lot of protests and this, that, and the other, and hopefully that becomes positive, which it is positive, but it becomes into a positive result. But
mm-hmm.
for him, people in his history, it happened, and there was nothing they can do about it but just embrace it. I guess there's such a
And
word to embrace that.
that's what's so scary too, because, like you mentioned, the map that I posted with Palestine shrinking and then all of a sudden Israel getting bigger and bigger. It's literally the same thing as the US. The US was built on blood. It was Native American land, and that shrunk. The US got bigger and bigger, and here we are. And that thought really like haunts me, for my people in my country, because hey, wherever the US is involved, there's destruction.
That's for sure, man. I think there was another picture you posted, or I don't know. You post so much, I come across so much because
I
usually you
know.
hit and you start scrolling and it's a whole bunch, and I love it because it's a lot of you know, a lot. But yeah, there was a picture of Yemen before after the U.S. There was a picture of something else before and after the U.S.
Hmm.
And, yeah, man, it is, man. It's unfortunately it sucks. It really was. There was another post I saw that it was like, damn, man, yo, we send. In this case, they didn't use Israel. They used Ukraine.
Hmm.
They sent billions of dollars to Ukraine and stuff like that. And the guys took that amount that sent to Ukraine and broke it down into like you could have ended world U.S. hunger. You could have
Yeah,
ended it.
I saw
Uh,
that.
right, taking care of health care. Could have ended that. All this, that, and the other. But we can't do that here. We can send billions and billions of dollars like no problem to other countries and shit. And I'm saying to myself, word, that's crazy.
Is maddening. Just like Netanyahu doesn't give a fuck about his people. You think any president in the US gives a fuck about us? Hell no, they don't care about us. It's all about their pocket and their benefit. And you said world hunger, and that, oh man, that triggered a thought in my mind, which I was thinking about. I don't know if you saw, but Biden, I think he went to San Francisco or Cali, and they were like, oh, what the fuck happened to all the homeless people in San Francisco? They cleaned them out. And then all these people saying, they were literally there last night, and Biden's coming today, and now they all disappeared. And I was just like, damn, like, I wonder what the fuck they did with them. A lot of people were talking about, oh, they took them and now they're selling their organs on the fucking black market, or just like all these like thoughts and ideas. I'm like, yo, that's crazy as hell. But I wouldn't be surprised. I believe in that stuff. I believe in that stuff so much because the greed, especially in this country, is wow. Shit, you don't want to believe, but it's reality.
Like shit. You come across like child trafficking, human trafficking here in the
Mhm.
states is crazy. Talking That Ish and Skeen podcast is now available on iHeartRadio and Apple Podcast. Say word, Skeen. Word to Big Bird. So now our show, me and Ish, you know how we doing it. Talking That Ish and Skeen podcast is now available on Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. No excuse. You can't miss us. We there, we everywhere. Say word, Skeen. Word to Big Bird. So we'll talk to you soon. Take care, guys. Peace. What's up, guys? It's your boy Skane here, back to let you know and remind you that my co-host Aisha has an amazing poetry book called Treetop Echoes. It is available now on Amazon as well as Barnes and Nobles. So if you're in the market for a new book, please pick it up. You will not be disappointed in this amazing poetry book. So the name of the book, once again, Treetop Echoes, available on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. Get your copy today. So, like I said, 2023, 2024, like human trafficking and child trafficking is just, it's just, to me, it's mind blowing that even in this day and age, we're still talking about these things. Like it was something that was talked about in the past, like, yo, watch it, and we're still doing that. It's
Yeah,
crazy. Like, I'm not surprised at all, to be honest, but yeah.
not at all. It's crazy. Like you said, they'll send all this money to Ukraine, all this money to the IDF to support this genocide. Like, what the fuck are they doing with this money? What are they doing? They're not doing anything with this money but building their economy and paying their citizens' ways through life. Why the fuck aren't you doing that for your own people? You talking about, oh, the country's in trillions of dollars of debt. We need to, your taxes are going up. There's inflation, this and that. Like, what the fuck? We're literally paying for other people. We might as well just get up and go to one of those countries
Might as
and
well.
get paid for.
That's what I'm retiring. I'm going to Ecuador. Like, oh,
It's
you know,
crazy.
it is. It's absolutely insane. Like learning that we're in so much debt, but yeah, we give out billions like it was, Halloween candy.
Hmm.
People would just go to the store. I mean, like shit, like a year ago or more than a year ago, something like that. Eggs were like $10
Yeah.
and
Them
stuff.
people, they have free health care, they got free education. We're over here in debt, suffering, fucking hungry. Well, I ain't hungry, but there's people out here that are hungry. It's just crazy. It's really like, horrific, man.
It is, man. A lot of cats out here eating rice and cheese. You know what I mean?
Rice and cheese. Ooh.
Eat why I eat egg and eggs. You know what I mean? Sardines.
Damn, you just
Yeah,
made me think of hot dogs and eggs.
that's a
You know,
cuisine.
you no, but like when you down and out, you don't got much money in your pockets. You go ahead, you make some scrambled eggs and chopped up hot dogs in it. That shit is rocking.
It be though. It definitely be with white rice.
Yeah,
Bus.
that shit is.
You know. It's crazy now that sidetrack just to bring some humor to this, but no, you're absolutely right, man. Those meals sometimes when you do them, they hit the spot and they just comfort food. You know,
Yes.
because I remember when I was little, man, and I'll share this story and stuff. Like let's say my mom didn't have money and we were down and out or whatever the case is. She would cook rice and eggs, whatever. And to me, when it was like, oh, what would it be? Oh, rice and eggs. Or, oh, like that's what's up. And then I remember we were in Ecuador to be exact, and so we were eating at this little country club and stuff like that. So, and we're there, we're eating. My sister, her husband, my mom, my daughters, and stuff. And we're there, we're eating. And I happened to turn, and I was like, "Damn, mom, we're not eating rice and eggs no more." As a joke, right? So, because like, listen, we're good. And all of a sudden, my mom started tearing. So I was like, "Why are you tearing?" She was like, "Because, man, like when we used to do those struggle meals, is because we didn't have that much."
Hmm.
I told him, "Ma, I never look at it like that. Like when I think of rice and eggs, I think of that's comfort food for me. That's something
Yeah.
that's amazing. It's a great memory for me. But for her, it wasn't. It was a struggle.
Hmm.
But I said, we're not eating that. Look, you're by the beach. Look at the ocean. You chilling. We eating good, fresh fruit, everything. So it was just sometimes too when we think about it and make joke of something. Like for her, it wasn't a joking manner because it was like, yo, that's all we had.
Yeah,
But
no, that's true. But in a weird way, you're right. Like it is tied to memories in a sense.
I used to, and I told her, yo, the only thing that was missing was the ketchup. Let's go. It's It's not, each don't eat those. Steak and eggs for each a day.
Nah, we had days like that too. Shit.
What would it like right now? What would be your comfort food that you remember and you be like, yo, that's bussin'.
I would probably go with that, to be honest. That was like the first thing to come to my mind, and I could literally taste it as I'm saying it with some ketchup and hot sauce. Oh my God. Or
I don't know.
jalapenos chopped into it. Oh my God.
Oof. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Some good stuff. I think that's gonna be on the menu. I'm gonna take a picture and be like, yo, eesh. Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. This world that we live in right now, man, it's just it's sad, right? That we still have to live through this, and now we're seeing it, video, pictures, and everything, getting information and everything. But the fact that once again there is a lot of support and there is a lot of love out there in the streets and the community, country to country. But
Mhm.
at the time, despite of that love and everything that we're seeing out there, it's just the fact that we gotta live through this as human beings and see exactly what's going on and see the greed and the non human people with just not being, not to have that care for another human being is it's crazy to me. It is
Mm,
absolutely insane. And I think that's the saddest part of this whole thing is just people just being evil to other people for no reason, you
mhm,
know, wanting to take what they think they that belongs to them, but yet at the same time you show them a map back to your picture, and it's like, what belongs to you never did, you
mhm,
know, and stuff. And it's just amazing to me in that aspect. You know what I mean?
mhm. I really, really do wish that these people would take a DNA test. I just wish they would. Maybe that'll check them into reality.
But you Russia, fuck out of here.
For real. Like, go the fuck back home, and even they're not gonna want them. Damn, that's
Ah,
crazy.
that is crazy. That is crazy. But I guess once again, I mean, it's just finding the truth for yourself.
Mhm.
Being, I mean, in this will be by the time this will be the 6 week, right? 6 weeks.
Yeah,
But the fact of the matter is, in 6 weeks, I haven't seen any of the CNNs of the world, the Fox of the world, none of that. All my news has been through social media, postings and stuff like that. Watching what was that thing I said that I've been watching? Jesus
Al
Christ.
Jazeera.
Yes, that I'm sorry, documentaries on history and stuff like that, and learning what's going on and what they're trying to do and how slowly they're trying to do it without you even realizing what they're doing, but the plan is there. So just learning that stuff and mm, no, and you're saying to yourself, man, that's bullshit. Nah, that can't go down like that. So let me post something. Let me repost something. Let me do
Mhm.
whatever you can in your space to bring light to that situation. So
Yeah. Nah, honestly, my guy, like, I just want to say thank you to you for taking that time out and putting in the effort to better understand everything that's going on and not, just coming in and taking what I post and being like, oh, okay, yeah, you're actually, making that effort to learn. And I can't express to you how much that means to me, and I'm sure plenty other people, because it's people like you who help us make the difference. So it's truly, truly appreciated.
thank you so much. And the funny thing that you say that was like today on my drive, because I had a longer commute. I was visiting another store, but I had a longer commute, so I was listening to the first episode we did of Free Palestine, and I'm sitting there and I'm listening to myself talk, and I'm like, damn, word, like 5 weeks ago, going on 6 weeks, like wow, I was really lost in the sauce, and you can tell by the questions I was asking and the rationale I was trying to, and at that time, which I love the fact that you respected the fact that I was in that neutral state. I didn't know exactly what was going on, and your exact words were, "Hey, I respect that, but this, that, and the other." So I was like, man, I just realized, and I was like, wow, she didn't come at me like, no, Skeen, you're supposed to, you know what I mean? You gave
Yeah.
me that freedom to do my research and go in depth with what you're saying and for myself, and that was something that in that episode I was like, damn, I've come a long way in just historical facts and understanding in
Yeah.
the past, and the fact that you allowed me to do it on my own, you
Hmm.
know, that's kudos to you. Because I know sometimes people be like, nah, man, you gotta listen to this, you gotta listen to that, and no, 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 no. You were just like, hey, I'll send you something. Basically, let me know what you think in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that for letting me, open my mind up and not being pushed in a direction and stuff like that. So I appreciate that from you, of course. And we're gonna continue, man. We're gonna continue talking about this for as long as we can, because to be honest, this atrocity has to stop. It just has. You have mentioned Congo, Sudan, um, Haiti. I know I'm missing two more.
Afghanistan, them
Yes,
being like kicked out of Pakistan, and just all this madness around the world. Lebanon's getting bombed. 40,000 people fled because Israel's bombing them now. It's just mayhem. Yemen is super poor. They really don't have much. They're also in a fucked up state.
Yeah.
Syria, like there's a lot. That's the thing too. Like one last thing I want to add here is that Islam is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful religion. I mean, I'm not a religious person, but I believe in my religion and I know that it's beautiful. I think, seeing people actually discovering that through these atrocities is also, it's a bittersweet thing. It's sad, but it's beautiful because people in power, like America, tend to demonize the religion and demonize our culture. And it's absolutely not what they portray it to be. So for people to actually see the beauty that we're made of and how peaceful we are is definitely something amazing that's come out of all of this disaster. Um, just, having people understand us and having people see the good in us through all of this, the depth in the faith, whether you're extremely religious or if you're not religious at all, our faith is still there and our faith will always lie in us. So I think, through all of this, again, it's just been so amazing to see how we've outshined all of the hate and the negativity that's been put on our plate by these people in power.
Yeah. I mean, that's perfectly said. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what, man, in each video that you see of some horrific type of imagery, you also get this positiveness and this awareness of not only people around the world, but people inside the Gaza Strip, in the West Bank, so on and so forth. And, they're still praying. They're still, in some videos, they've been smiling and stuff like that, which is rare. Is
Mhm.
rare in those to see a smile because you're seeing this atrocity that's going on. But at the same time, it gives you hope, and especially from the outside world, around the world, for all these protests and stuff like that. So it gives you hope, and I know you probably think the same way. But every morning when I wake up, man, and I usually don't go straight to social media. I don't, but I usually take my time before I get to it. But when I do get to it, I'm hoping for, like, yeah, a ceasefire happen or something to some good news to happen, so
Mhm.
I can know that the people that are there living those horrific moments can get some peace. But at the same time, like yourself and every Palestinian person around the world and around the globe can have that peace of mind for that time being until a true resolution happens. But at the same time, every supporter that has been supporting the cause as well gets that peace of mind that they need, instead of reading another atrocity and another video and all this and that. Hopefully it gets to the point where you can exhale. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you need it, my friend. I know you do, and I know all your people need it as well, and everybody that supports you needs it as well. Because we're on edge too. Because like I said, when we open social media, we're hoping for it happen, the ceasefire. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? And then go. So hopefully one day we will soon. We will open that and find out that there is a resolution coming, or something's going on that can put a smile on your face, or you know just some type of joy. You know what I mean?
Inshallah, God willing.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, thank you so much. Like I said, go out there. Aisha, hit him with the page again, because I know you're not going to stop. With the page again if you want some knowledge.
For you, my guy, I'm going to continue. The page that I made is called Education on Palestine. I'm going to, I guess, just keep pushing and go forward and start posting some stuff on that page. So give it a follow, and I'm going to drop some knowledge on there for you to continue to educate yourself if you're interested.
Yeah, for sure, man. And, please do. Please do. Because I know in 6 weeks, I have learned so much. There's some of the words I can't remember because I'm a dumbass, and I'll keep it simple. I can read about it and know exactly that, yeah, what she's wearing has fishnets and it had this. I can remember certain things, but words is like, yeah, I'm not. Plus, I'm stupid. I don't want to say them and then chop them up. And no, the pronunciation is wrong because I'm an idiot, and everybody
Yeah,
knows I'm fine
good.
with that. But yeah, like you're absolutely right. Keep posting. Like I'm gonna steal the thunder from my homegirl. Every post can reach somebody, somebody in power, or just somebody that's fogged up right now, and one post can clear their vision. So hopefully we continue to doing that. I know she's flying the flag above her shoulder real proudly, and I'm happy to see that flag fly at any stadium, any protest, anything. It doesn't matter if it's that flag or another flag representing that flag next to it, whatever. That I think makes me happy when I see other countries repping and stuff like that.
Definitely.
You know, Obviously we're human, but at the same time, if you have somebody of Palestinian descent, be their support system. Check in on them. Make sure I check in on this young lady, and just to make sure they have an outlet to exhale some of that anger and emotion that they have, because everybody needs it. We're human, and sometimes we can hold everything so much in our hearts, but we need to explode sometimes. So she knows that she explode. Pick up the phone and let me know what's going on. So if you have anybody in your life out there, please be that extension for them to release some of that pressure and that angst and that worry. So do good, be good. Hopefully peace comes about soon. And we'll talk to you next week. Thank you so much, man. And like in the words of my homegirl, free Palestine. Peace.
For Palestine.
Talking at Ishan Scheme.
Show you right.